Hi guys, my name is Emma. Welcome to my very first makeup video. I'm so excited for you guys to watch this today. I put a lot of thought into this, so I'm really excited to see what you guys think. So I want to say three things, first of all. First, this is my routine. This is how I do my makeup. And I'm still learning, constantly adapting, doing more research. Also, I go to Sephora and get samples. I had no idea they did that. So go to Sephora and get samples. It's the most wonderful thing. 2 years ago, I didn't do half the stuff I do now. So this is all kind of new. Like I said, I'm learning a lot. So in this video, I'm going to focus the most on foundation because I feel like that's the biggest issue when it comes to makeup with cystic acne is finding something, finding good foundation and being able to do your makeup with good foundation. That's my biggest issue, at least. Third thing, the biggest trick to doing makeup with cystic acne is accepting the fact that this is your face. You have to learn to see your face as not something to hide, and you have to feel beautiful. You have to learn to love yourself, and you have to be okay with the fact that scars and zits are just gonna be there. And sometimes you're not going to be able to cover it up 100%. And that's kind of hard to accept, and it took me a long time to get there. But that is the single trick for doing makeup with cystic acne, is just accepting the fact that it's never going to be 100% perfect the way you want it to be. But you have to learn to feel beautiful with your own skin and to accept your own face as who you are. So, without further ado, here it is. Alright, so this is my face. Not a stitch of makeup on. You can see I have lots of scars, and it mostly is in this area right here. I've got a little bit going on around here. So my routine, first step is primer. This is the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer, and just squeeze a little dot like so. And I've got my mirror here. Rub it all over the face. And I do on the eyelids too. And then for color correction, because lots of redness here on this face, I just got for the first time this Lancome Miracle Cushion Green. Green is what combats redness. It's very light. It goes on very light, and I like it. I think it works well. And it comes with this cute little pad. And just dab it on. But I feel like it doesn't last very long. I feel like this is made more for like spot covering up, spot treatment, spot redness. So yeah, I put mostly right around here on my cheeks and on my chin. I don't really do a lot on my forehead, just don't care. Next step is foundation, and I just recently bought this. This is Kat Von D's Lock-It Foundation, and the color is Light 42 Neutral. However, I think it's a little too light. And I'll show you what I do to combat that. I'm going to put it on with the Beauty Blender. This I got at morphbrushes.com for like I think it was like $6 or $7. And it's just slightly damp. And since this has such good coverage, like this is the best coverage I've ever had, ever, in a foundation. So since it's so good and it can be really thick and cakey sometimes, I only do 1 squirt. I just dab it on, and then I just in places that I need it. I don't use a lot. Take the Beauty Blender and blend it out. And you can already see it's quite a bit lighter than my actual skin tone. So, but it's always better to go lighter than darker when you're buying foundation. Because you can always add color to your face. to make it darker to match your skin tone, which is what I'm gonna do. Alright, so I use a beauty blender because I feel like it works best as far as using a brush to put on foundation. I have tried foundation brushes, I've tried like everything, I've tried using just my straight up fingers, and I definitely think beauty blenders work the best. And the thing with acne is you don't want to rub, you want to dab as much as possible. Alright, so here it is. I usually like to blend a little bit more around the edges of my face with a stippling brush, just to make sure it's completely blended. Alright, so this is a little bit lighter than my skin tone actually is. So take a powder brush, and I've got a couple different kinds of powder here that I use, but to fix the ghosty paleness that this foundation gives my face, I use a low pigment bronzer. This is Physicians Formula, and it's a light bronze pearl. It's just a light version of bronzer, to kind of put color back in my face so I don't look like this pale white ghost. So that's a little bit better. I'm not looking so pale and white. So then the next step with powder that I do, and it's apparently the oldest trick in the book, it's called baking. You might have heard it, and what it basically is taking some setting powder. This is some setting powder, loose powder that I got off of More for like $8 or $9. You take some setting powder, or just any powder really, and a beauty blender. This is my old beauty blender, my first one, and I actually don't get this one wet at all because then it sucks up the powder, and I want the powder to be on my face, not on the brush. And I'm kind of running low on this. So what baking does, I think, is you basically put a ton of powder on your face, and it'll like soak up the oil out of your face, and then you let it sit for a few minutes, and I do other things while it's waiting. And then you go back and you kind of brush it all off, and it helps set it just better. So taking the beauty blender, and there's powder in there and all, and the brush is just covered. And you can do your entire face. I just do my T-zone right here and do a little bit around here, just because I'm using less product that way, and those are the places that I need it the most. If you have really dry skin, I wouldn't recommend baking. If you have really oily skin, like mine, I would. Alright, so what I do when I'm kind of waiting for this to set, I do my eyebrows and I do my eyes. And then I go back and I get rid of all this excess powder you can see all over my face. And for my eyebrows, I have just started doing my eyebrows. I didn't used to do my eyebrows. And I just have this cheap Maybelline brow kit. And it comes with its own brushes. And since I already have big bushy eyebrows, all I do for my brows is just fill them in. I'm just taking a cream and making a clean line on the bottom of my brow here. So I've got a clean line on the bottom of my brow here, and then I'm just gonna fill it in. Alright, so there's my brows. Alright, and then eyes. I'd like to do a whole separate video about eyes. One thing I will mention right now, since I'm not going to go into super detail about how I do my eyes, one thing I will say is that I don't really use brushes as much as I used to. People really like eyeshadow brushes. I've gotten to the point where I've gotten so good at my eyes, I use my fingers. These are the best tools and a lot less waste. So I'm just gonna do my eyes really fast. All right, and then my favorite trick is taking eyeliner and going in between the eyelashes. See a difference? Trusty eyelash curler. So before I actually put on mascara, since I don't want powder getting on my fresh mascara, I'm going to go ahead and remove my bake. So I just have this little fan here, and I use that on my nose, and then I just use a regular little powder brush. So back to mascara. I really like Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and this is a waterproof kind because for some reason every single mascara out there flakes and, like, you know, leaves that lovely ring under your eyes. So last step is putting color back onto the face. This is Anastasia Beverly Hills Light Medium Contour Kit. And I want to go over this. I know this might be really overwhelming for you guys. Contouring, highlighting, bronzer, it's kind of a mess. And I'm still learning, and this is still really new for me. But one of the reasons why I want to go over it, and one of the reasons why I want to talk about it, is because I feel like this is the second biggest challenge for people with cystic acne, because you don't want to put bad color back onto your face, you know what I mean? Like, make the acne look worse. Sometimes I feel like people with acne, we can't pull off this contouring and highlight thing, but I like it. I've been doing it for a little while now. If you want to start experimenting with it, I would say start small and cheap. Get a low pigment bronzer from Walmart or Target, like Physicians Formula or whatever you want. And watch some videos on YouTube. I'm going to put a link in the description. I'm going to put lots of links in the description. But there's this one video of a guy from Sephora that I think does a really good job explaining the whole thing. And that's where I learned a lot. So I use this really stiff, kind of like a buffing brush, slash stipling brush for bronzer. And what I'm going to do is this brown like color, I'm going to go along my cheekbone, like literally like this. And you can feel it with your brush. I like to do a line. And you can start all the way in the hairline and go pretty much up to here. And I'm going to use a couple of these lighter colors and this sparkly color as well. All right, so I just do one tap. And I like to do bronzer because it puts color back on the face. You can kind of tell a little bit of a difference. All right, so you see there's a little bit more of a glow. And I just do a little bit at the top of the forehead. So then I use this, like, it's kind of like a foundation brush, but different. It's fluffier and it's tapered. And I use this for this light color here. And I just go right here underneath the eyes. And the banana or yellow color, everyone was always really obsessed about it. It's really helpful if you have a lot of dark circles under your eyes. I don't really. I use it a little bit underneath my eyes. Going back in with that pink color on the forehead a little bit. And you know, you see all these things on Pinterest of you highlight here and you bronze here and you contour here. And you can kind of more or less make up your own version of that. And I prefer powder contours as opposed to cream contour, because I feel like with cystic acne, cream contour kits aren't going to give you the coverage that you need. So yeah. To contour underneath the cheekbone, and you can feel it, you just like cheekbone right there, you want to go like literally right underneath it. You would take a more grayish looking color, and that's what this would be. And I have an angled brush for this, and just literally like all the way from the hairline right underneath that bone. That's about it. Time for setting spray. This is also Kat Von D Lock and Load. I've had it forever. And the very last step is doing lips. Because with all that makeup, you kind of end up getting rid of some of your lips. So I take a Q-tip, get it wet, and find my lips again. That's it. That might not seem like that's it. What? That's a lot of makeup and that's a lot of steps, and please adapt this. You do not have to do exactly what I do. Do you have any more questions? What do you want to see? I really hope this was insightful. And I'm going to be adding links in the description of this video of all the other videos that I've watched that helped me get to the point where I am now. And I am definitely still learning and I'm still adapting, and half the stuff that I did today I didn't do like 3 or 4 months ago. So this is all, some of it's new for me too. So thanks for watching. Let me know if you want to see any more videos. Bye!